Hey everybody, are we all good here? Finally, sorry about that. Was all set to go live, and then for some reason, the camera on the streaming platform just went black. So I've been switching back and forth through two different computers to try to figure out what is going on. But I've finally just had to shift over to my old computer and see if we can figure that out. But in any case, I think we're here now. Let me know in the chat if it's all good. This is United versus Everybody. I am your host, Sean, and we are here to preview tomorrow's match against Leicester. Danny, good morning, pal. Good to see you this morning. Yeah, good to see you, man. So, sorry again about being late, everybody. Just trying to figure out this camera situation. So, in any case, let's jump into this preview here. I'm going to switch back over to my computer because this is insane. Technical difficulties this morning. How's everybody doing this morning? I know Danny. Well, it looks like Danny's been watching a little bit of the 18s. That's awesome. Who's starting? Being Sherry? Is he starting today? Get some coffee. It's been a rough morning already, mostly just because of sleep. Been tired today. Just want to make sure this is working good. All right, we're good. So in any case, this is the last match before the international break. Yes, I know, another international break. You guys know, you've heard me call them before, get in the bin international break, but Lord bear me strength just to deal with these international breaks. I'm done with it already. It's also the last match of Ruud van Nistelrooy's time as interim manager. And according to Chris Wheeler, it could be Ruud's last name at United, period. You guys saw the reports coming out yesterday. That is interesting. But then it's also the last match before the Age of Amorim officially begins. He was joining us this weekend, coming into the international break. It's stupid that the international break is happening now, that we have another international break, because Amorim is coming in, and then half his squad's going to be gone for international duty. And so it's like, I wish these players would just not go. It doesn't make sense to me why they think that's a good idea, but it is what it is. Thwaites, Montano, Obi scored again. Obi is on fire, it seems like, already. So I think we got a good one there. Thank you, Arsenal. Awesome. And of course, it's also a rematch with the Leicester team that we knocked out of the Carabao Cup last week as well. So lots going on for this one. We are going to talk about all of it today as we preview the match. So let's get stuck in. So ahead of this, we know one person who's not going to be on the touchline, and that is Darren Fletcher. So an independent regulatory commission has imposed a 3-match ban for Darren Fletcher, and he thinks he's fined like £7,500. For that, apparently it's for misconduct following our Premier League match with Brentford on Saturday the 19th. I think that was the match where De Ligt got kneed, that they got a really bullshit penalty as well, if you guys remember that. So Darren Fletcher apparently went off on somebody after the fact, so sounds like he's going to be missing the next few matches. Biancheri came on for the last 10. I really like Biancheri. I think he's a really, it's another one of those different profile. Like, he's smaller, he's quick, he's agile, as opposed to like an Opie Martin, absolute unit kind of thing, and I do love it. So Thwaites in the 8 and 2 CBs were very good. Nice, man. Well, again, like we've said many, many times on this channel, the future does look bright with Kobbie Mainoo, with guys like Fletcher, Collier, Obi Martin, Abrigimov. A lot of these guys are looking. I needed to have a couple of really good center backs coming through too, because I thought that Kambwala was looking good. Seems like maybe he wanted to go play and had the opportunity. It is what it is, but I like to see a couple center backs coming through. That's what I do. First thing I do when I start my manager career mode with United is send my scouts, get some scouts set up in England for center backs, especially now as I'm playing with Amorim. Although I have to create Amorim unless I want to wait for another update, because apparently there's a bug, in which I've found a couple times now. I don't understand this how EA is still in business. They're ridiculous. So I know, Dan, I don't know if you bought the game yet, but like, there's a bug now where, if you select a real manager, so if you go select Amorim, whose face is in the game, right, and you want to start a career with United, literally it'll just randomly change his hairstyle for like no reason. I don't understand why. So I started it. playing, and then go into the match, show on the touchline, and he's literally got like a hat and long hair, like he's Slash from Guns N' Roses. And I'm like, what is this? And it's different every time you do a save. So I don't understand what is happening. Kukoni played left back or part of a back 3 times. Good deal, man. Yeah, you're not missing out, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I should have just returned it when I had the chance. I don't understand what the deal is there. Danny B's. So, and there's officially, I guess they partnered with Beats, because now when you're playing career mode, like those little tweets pop up on the side now. So they have social media from like The Athletic and from Beats Your Amount. But now it's just a bunch of ads for Beats by Dre, basically. I don't get it. It's embarrassing, but it is what it is. So what has Ruud van Nistelrooy had to say ahead of this game? He has had some thoughts on the upcoming match. I'm going to go read through some of these key quotes. What my new computer is a little ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not having a good time with this new computer. It's really, really annoying. So he's talking a little bit about fitness. He says Ahmad was assessed. We're still working on him to get him ready for Sunday. Hopefully it'll work. Kobe is progressing in his injury. He's making the right steps, but is not with the team though, so that needs a bit more time. So no Kobe Manu. I have to say, yesterday we had a lot of benefit from Christian playing 30 minutes. Ugarte and Mount making his first minutes again. That benefited us well. So giving us a little bit of team news. Good to hear. I don't know where my Q&A went, so that's awesome. Let me just see if I can open it on this computer while we're live here. You know, this is very professional. Forgive me for the technical difficulties this morning, you guys, because it has been a shit show. All right, there we go. So that's not what I'm looking for. All right. I think the United has changed the content on their website ahead of this one, because everything I've looked at is completely different now than what it was when I saved the page to bring up and look at. So that's cool. Don't you love it when everything comes together like that? All right. Well, they've changed it. I can't find it anymore, so that's cool. There we go. Found it now. Cool. Sorry, guys. This is so professional. So he was asked. So we've seen images today of Shaw returning to training with Lenny Euro back, Mason Mount. It seems the injuries are easing at just the right time with Ruben coming in. Ruud says, yeah. And also for me, I have to say yesterday we had a lot of benefit from Eriksson. Everybody just said all that. Kobe's not ready yet. So he was asked, Ruud, obviously this is your final match in interim charge. It'll be emotional on Sunday, I'm sure. But for you, is it also a second farewell from Man United? Do you know what your future holds? He says, first of all, it was a special period. It is still, I called it an important period because I think it was important to get through the 4 games as good as we could. I think we've done very well so far. The players reacted very well in games. Obviously, the focus now is to build on that and show that on Sunday with a big game ahead, a massive 3 points that are there to win. He says, so yeah, I don't know if it'll be very emotional. I take it very pragmatic as well. We'll see how we'll feel on Sunday. Other than that, there's not much more news. So yeah, Ruud's job basically as interim is just to come in and, just try to get results, try to put out the team that's going to get the best result on the day, like we were talking about before with Pauk especially. And it's all you can do. He's not here to try to change tactics. Remember Ralph Ragnick did that, and when he was interim and it kind of blew up in his face. He's not here to try to transition to Ruben Amorim's system. It's not his system. Let Ruben Amorim handle that. He's just here to just get results any way we can. If you notice, he hasn't changed up a whole lot other than just trying to get more bodies in the final third in that final phase of attack. Danny B doubts he'll stay maybe till the end of the season. Interesting. We got a new face in here today. Good day. I don't even know what that means. What is that little symbol? Someone tell me what that is. Oh, are you just spamming? Sounds like we got a spammer. So somebody want to handle that for me when you get a second, mods. So he was asked, Ruud, it seems you've enjoyed this role. Would you one day like to think of yourself as a permanent manager of Manchester United? And he says, yes, of course. I've thought this through well when I made the decision to come to United as an assistant coach. I thought that through. I knew that coming to United was a special occasion where I felt like I wanted to be part of this journey with the club in an assistant role. I have clear ambitions to manage. I made the decision to sign a 2-year deal, and I'm still in that frame of mind. So he sounds like, to answer your question, Danny, I mean, it's going to be interesting because clearly Ruud he's said a couple times now, he's reiterated the fact that he's got a contract as an assistant. He's happy to be here. He wants to be here for another year, but it whether or not that means that that's what he's been told and he's just laying it out, or whether or not that's what he wants and he's making sure it's public, so he's kind of like voicing his desire to stay, is anyone's guess. Obviously, we've brought in a lot of assistants for the coaching staff this season. Like we've talked about, Amorim is bringing a ton. We paid extra for Amorim to bring the coaching with staff with him. So what that means for our coaching staff is anyone's guess. But I think that maybe we could see him stay until the end of the season, at least, like you're saying. But until then, it's literally anyone's guess as to what is going to happen. So he says, the whole experience of being the boss, how do you rate it? Was it stressful? Have you enjoyed it? He says, I've enjoyed it. Gave a lot of energy. I think the reaction of the players is outstanding. I also think as an assistant, you are quite close to players. So the past 3 months, I spent a lot of time with the players, got to know them very well as human beings, but also as footballers, where they're in their development and how I can help. I think that relationship that is helping now, we're together and want to achieve something together. That bond is there. And so so obviously we've talked about Ruud's been a part of the whole situation going on this season, whether you're not, you want to say he's had a heavy part in poor results or whatnot, anyone's guess. Completely, no one, we're not really going to know how much he's had to say because Ten Hag is a bit stubborn at times. So he was asked if he has any advice for Ruben Amorim. He said, that's a good question, actually. It's good to wrap it up after Sunday. And of course, I've been in for 3 months. The season is short spell. From there on, I think it'd be very good to wrap it all up and I'd have that conversation. It's a good question. I'm going to start thinking about it. So not really an answer. So he said, so someone told him, if you win on Sunday, you'll have the highest win percentage of any manager in United history. You'll go past Michael Carrick. That's not the question. What sort of state is the dressing room in at the moment? Do you see optimism? He says, I think if you look at it, it's a results game in the end. And he's absolutely right. It is a results game. The last 3 results were okay. We went through the Carabao Cup. We're in the quarterfinal there. It was a good point against Chelsea, where we felt we deserved more. I think we should have won that one too. He says also important win in the Europa League to help us get settled higher in that table to get us through the next round in January. So I think that momentum is changing a little bit. But of course, Sunday is also a competition where we need to do better. Ruud, what was the last 8 or 9 days taught you as a coach in your relatively fresh manager career? Again, he says, I really didn't think about this. I'm focused on getting the best out of the players and the staff. We're all together working on getting United back on track in the short term. I think overall the knowledge about training sessions, managing individuals and teams. So again, he's totally focused on the match, not really trying to think too far ahead. Obviously, he wants to stay and he's got a contract, but he's just trying to get through this match and get on with it. Ruud, you did well at PSV and left for other reasons. Obviously, the 3 games here so far, we have seen a lift. It must be difficult then to be an assistant and it not be all your ideas. I don't even know. I don't know why the press just tries to stir the pot. And Ruud, responded, no, I think the appetite to build further with this club is stronger than the other bit for this moment. And as I said, I made a deliberate decision to step into this role for 2 seasons and take it from there. These 4 games haven't changed that sentiment. That's why I said from the beginning, that's what my intentions were. So basically, the press is trying to say, like, how frustrating is it to be an assistant under Ten Hag? And Ruud's saying, like, I came to be an assistant. I know that role. I care more about helping the club get back to where it needs to be than about having total control over everything. So it sounds like, again, kind of like Ollie, Ruud is a fan. He's a United fan. He cared more about just doing whatever he needed to do for the club. I think Ruud sounds like the kind of, even Ollie at times sounds like the kind of guy, like, I'll wash the kits if that's what it takes to help get this club and any like closer to where it needs to be. Like, I will do that. So I have no problem with that. Obviously, Ruud's being a little diplomatic here, but He was asked when you first joined the club, they were sharing him York, Cole, and Shoshar. Now Rasmus and Josh were seen as potential, but do you accept that this club needs a proven goal scorer? I mean, do you guys think we need a proven goal scorer? Are you happy to keep working with Hoyland and Xerxes right now? You guys let me know as I read through this response. He says, I agree that when you want to be a successful side in the Premier League and in Europe, that's what the build is all about. You're going to need a certain amount of goals. That is clear. That is facts in football, and that's why the best team in the world have those players. At the moment, we have players that get a certain amount of goals or assists, but they are obviously in an age where they still have to be developed, and there's that potential that they will be. The belief is there that they can. So basically saying we have good strikers, they still need work. They're not the finished article yet, and we all know that. So the question is, do we need a striker? We're going to explore that question a little bit when I come back sometime this week and do my Ruben Amorim's transfer target video. I've got a couple players that I'll be sharing with you guys, a couple positions that I'll be going through there. So striker could be one, could not be one. You guys let me know what you think about that. Danny, happy to give Hoyland the rest of the season and go from there. Hoyland needs time. What the problem with Hoyland is he like we need to find him a little bit more. Now I fully agree that because he's young, he's going to need time to really learn how to create goals for himself, to not where he's just relying on a perfect pass from somebody that he can tap in. That's part of it. I think that's strength, but I think some of it has to do with the way Ten Hag played him. He's not this hold up, hoof the ball to him, Fellaini, I'm going to grab it and feed out. He needs to be playing off the shoulder of defenders on the run. I think he's going to thrive in the Ruben Amorim system when we've got these two players behind him that are in the channels who are kind of pulling defenders in and making defenders basically have to think a little bit more and because if you look at the way Gyökeres plays for Sporting, I mean, that is basically a mirror image of what Hoyland's profile is. And I think we're going to get the most out of that. He wants to be running in behind. He wants to get on the end of those kind of things. And I think that he's going to do very, very well under Amorim's system because we're going to start playing him the way he needs to be played. So that was pretty much it from the presser. Just interesting to see some of the comments. So again, on the team news from Ruud, we're waiting to see if Ahmad is fit. I hope that he is. Manu, unlikely. Mount is officially back now after coming on against PAOK and getting a few minutes. Shaw, Euro back in training, but I doubt we're going to see them at least till Ipswich. So, which is fine. We don't want to rush anybody back. As far as Leicester goes, so Steve Cooper is going to be without a few players. Jakub Stalajic, Bobby de Gortova-Reed, remember that guy from Fulham? Hamza Chowdhury are all out still. Jamie Vardy did not play against us in the Carabao Cup match last week, but he is fit, so he could feature a little bit. Patson Daka could be back, but Steve Cooper also said he's not gonna risk him long term if he's not fit. What we got here? Danny, how are the 18s doing? He says, Obi need more time before first team. I give Biancheri minutes before him. Yeah, Biancheri looks very, very good. I remember when we signed him a couple years ago, the little Welsh kid. And from what I've seen this year, he's doing bits. So I'm really happy to, again, he offers something a little different. Again, this is why I don't necessarily think in some regards we need to look at strikers quite yet. I wouldn't have, instead of Xerxes, I'm not bidding Xerxes off already. I'm just saying, in hindsight, maybe instead of Xerxes, we could have spent a little bit more on someone like an Ivan Toney or someone who's a little bit more experienced. So we weren't waiting on everyone to get acclimated or develop. I get that, but at the same time, we are where we are. So we just played Leicester like a week ago, right? So I don't really feel like I want to repeat everything that I said in that preview. In my opinion, the preview for this match is more about what we learned after that result. So going back and looking at my 3 thoughts video and everything, and what we discussed in that match reaction. So we had 2 players last time out who nearly got hat tricks in Bruno and Casemiro. Casemiro had himself a brilliant match. Remember that beautiful, beautiful screamer that he scored. He's had a little bit of a renaissance operating in that advanced position, like we've been saying this season. Last year, we were all talking his legs are gone. He can't do that. He's a liability. Well, the simple solution seems to be just moving him forward and playing him as like an 8, someone who's getting involved in the build-up because he does have a decent passing range, someone who's making late runs, someone who's getting a little bit more involved in that final phase of attack. And it's kind of just seen him turn into a whole new player. I'm not saying that we just keep him for another 5 years. I'm saying that we're getting the best out of Casemiro now that we've just changed it up a little bit. Now, but that means that we've got Ugarte, who's still young, who's got to come in and kind of do the legwork a little bit as well. Last time out, we were very clinical, much more clinical than we've been all season. We exceeded our XG on the day, mostly due to, I think, Ruud's preference for just getting numbers in the box in that final phase of attack. That's his shtick. That's what he loves to do, get people in the box, get a lot of options in there. Someone's going to put it away, basically. We've struggled a little bit since to replicate that, mostly due to some poor decision-making in the final third, some selfishness, some bad passing, the bad final ball, and just poor quality on the finish. Sometimes Garnacho's missed a couple of simple ones. Bruno's skied a couple. That's what Bruno does. So Pavlidis or Santi Jimenez had my... Yeah, I do like Jimenez. I know he was doing bits at Feyenoord. Pavlidis moved this summer, didn't he? I want to say. I remember looking at him a little bit last year, too. I think I did a scout report on him at his older club. I can't remember now. It's been so long. But Jimenez looks really, 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 really good. I haven't seen what his numbers have been like this season, though, because I just haven't watched. But Pav would have been cheap. Santi Jimenez was my choice before Højlund. I prefer him for half the price. Yeah, he would look really, really good. He had a really good season in the Eredivisie. So the goals we conceded against Leicester last time out, remember, it was 5-2. The goals we conceded were just they were down to very sloppy, switched off defending. It was a combination of nobody clearing the danger in the box or nobody closing down an opponent on the ball at the edge of our box, which we've been guilty of for years now. And basically nobody taking responsibility in the moment, nobody being alert to the danger. Basically the same mistakes we've been making for years, like I said. And if we just stay switched on and alert to the danger and make sure someone takes the initiative to clear the danger on these set pieces and get to the second ball and just get rid of it, I think we'll be fine. Because, again, like I said, those are what is that where you went, Benfica? Right on. So I think we have better players than Leicester. I don't think Steve Cooper is a very good manager. I would even say Ruud is a better manager than Steve Cooper, if I'm being honest. That being said, Leicester are absolutely going to have revenge on their minds ahead of this one. You can be sure they're going to be looking to spoil Ruud's final game in charge. What I think we need to do is keep an eye on El Canus. I honestly forgot going into the last one that they signed El Canus because he was a player that I've been watching since his time in the Belgian league. And he was causing us all sorts of problems in the last time out. He's kind of just getting involved. Everything was kind of going through him. And on the edge of the box, building up, he was just dangerous. He's very good at making things happen. And if you remember, he scored Leicester's first goal in that match as well. So how do we make sure we lock him up? Play a strong midfield. Just keep alert to him. I don't think that he's someone that you want Casemiro sitting back and marking. If you start Ugarte, you just make sure Ugarte is just alert to him and doesn't let him get too much time on the ball. And if possible, try to press higher up the pitch to prevent the ball from getting to El Canus. It's pretty clear that that's who they're going to pick out. So I think ahead of an international break, we've got a lot of players who are leaving for this international break. We just need to play a strong side and lock up these 3 points. So I'm probably going to go with, you guys get your thoughts on the starting 11. I'm going to go with Onana, Mazraoui on the right, De Ligt. I might go for Evans just because I want a little bit of experience and because I'm going to put Licha at left back for this one. I do think that Dalot probably just needs to sit one out before international break. He's played pretty much every minute almost, barring like 1 or 2 matches. He's been a little sloppy, and like I said, the sort of goals we conceded are the exactly kind of goals that Dalot has been. I don't want to point fingers just at Dalot, but the kind of goals that Dalot allows to happen, like just standing off people, not closing down space at the edge of the box. It's not all on Dalot. He's guilty of it repeatedly. So, like I said, I do think he just needs a break. So I'd like to see Dalot just sit one out, put Licha back there. Licha is no nonsense. He's just going to clear the danger. He's not going to worry about trying. You definitely know he's not going to stand off somebody. Danny says, I agree 100. Yeah. Dallo just needs a break. I'm not going to go in on him too hard. Like, he's not having a good season. He makes mistakes, and there's aspects of his game that he needs to improve on still. I get that. But I think he's just played a lot of football. And with Manu, with Garnacho, I think that they've been asked to play a little too much. So I think he just needs to sit down for a bit. Get him a chance just to rest up, go into the break. I wish he weren't going to international break. I wish he was going to stay and just train, but it is what it is. Eriksen came back. I think I might start Ugarte and Eriksen in midfield for this one, if I'm honest, just because I think that Eriksen was one of our best players before he picked up a knock. And I'm not saying Casemiro's bad, but I think we could start Eriksen for this one. We should be able to start Eriksen for this one and not have to worry too much. But I want Ugarte on there because I do think we need a bit of physicality, a bit of legs in midfield, and we know that Eriksen and Casemiro don't have that, which is why we'll be talking about that in my transfer target video for Ruud Amorim next week. I think Rashford's probably going to start after he came on from the bench midweek against PAOK. He was on the bench, he came on, didn't really do much, but I think that he'll probably start this one. If Ahmad is fit, we got to start Ahmad. If he's not fit, because I know he was being assessed, then we may need to go without him. But if he's fit, he needs to start. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Garnacho get a rest. And I honestly think Garnacho needs it. He's played I think he started like every match since for over a month now. Since I think Porto was the last one he came on as a sub. Remember Rashford got subbed off halftime and Garnacho came on. So I think that Garnacho's been playing a lot of minutes. And while he did have a better output in terms of build up and then sort of passing and stuff last time out, I think that again, just like Manu, Garnacho's young. He shouldn't be relying on him every single match. So just give him a break, start Rashford on the left. I'm not saying I want this, but I think we'll probably see Antony start on the right in this one if Ahmad's not fit. I'm not saying I think he deserves it. I'm not saying that I want it. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised to see it, if I'm honest. So, and I don't really think you should. I think Antony should be fine against Leicester, if I'm honest. He's another player who he puts in a shift off the ball for sure. You can't fault him for that. And he has it in him to hold on to the ball. I think that little bit of that Brazilian mentality gets in there sometimes, and he wants to add another step that looks nice where he doesn't need to. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see Antony in the right. I think we're going to see Rashford in the left. Bruno is probably going to start in the 10. Danny says, I brought Bruno in for fantasy. Yeah, we'll see. Bruno got an assist last time out. Danny B says, did you see that clown Faz said to Garnacho before the game? What a muppet. We're going to get to that in a second, but thank you for reminding me. I think we're going to see Xerxes start as well. I think Ruud has shown that when he's rotating, this is kind of maybe how Ruud does it. He'll bring someone on last, and then the next game they might start or get more minutes. So it's going to be interesting. But you guys let me know what your starting 11 looks like. Let me know what your score predictions are for this one. I'm going to be going with 3-1 United. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as it was first time out. Obviously, that was, I think, like Ruud's first game in charge. So everybody was all up in their feelings, the crazy initial new manager bounce. I don't think it's going to be like that anymore, especially considering some of the changes. But you guys let me know what you think. International break call-ups are already coming out as well. Bruno and Dallo were called up to Portugal. De Ligt and Xerxes will be joining the Netherlands squad. Licha, Garnacho are heading off to the Argentina camp. Mazraoui will be with Morocco teammates. And Højlund and Eriksen are called up for Denmark duty as well. I just don't understand why you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 players when a new manager's showing up decide they want to go just take off. These are 9 of our first teamers. Like, just stay home. Why would you want to come back and then have to delay potentially getting involved or getting up to speed because of a bullshit November international break? Like, it's just dumb. I could go on about this all day, but just stay home, guys. Come down with the flu, the international break flu. Do whatever you want. Danny says, same as your lineup, play Eriksen too. Yeah, I think that there's nothing. I think that I could go either way right now between Eriksen and Casemiro, but I think that I'd rather maybe start with Eriksen for this one just to see. We should be fine, is what I'm saying. I think that definitely want Ugarte in midfield though, because he'll probably get a yellow. I don't care if that's what he's there for. He's there to just get stuck in, try to win the ball back, try to break up play. That's his job. I don't care if he gets yellows. I really don't. And then on Danny's comments, so I didn't want to end on a negative, but what is up with content creators these days? Like, I don't get it. So as Danny said, there was this clip going around, and I don't want to get into too much detail, but like Adam, I think Adam used to be on the United stand, but then Faz had a couple clips go out this week. Adam had an interaction with Rashford. Faz had an interaction with Garnacho. And it's gone crazy viral. I just don't get it. So Faz is an interesting one. So I actually met Faz 2 years ago when Justin and I were there. So he usually hangs out outside the players' tunnel when the players are coming in, and I saw him, I recognized him, went to say hi, and he was a super nice guy, very welcoming, very friendly, very willing to chat for a few minutes. Gave a lot of praise to traveling fans, away fans, because obviously we told him we were coming from America, so he was nothing full of nothing but praise for us. So really good interaction. What's interesting to me is this, to see how Faz's like persona online has changed since then. He's become very negative, very reactionary, and maybe that's just for the cameras. I don't know, but I think he's kind of taken that role on, like, that I'm going to be that negative guy, basically. I'm going to be the Lee Gunner of the United fan base, basically. And it's too bad, because the interaction was on its face innocuous, but you knew what you were doing when you were live streaming that. Like, you knew exactly what you were doing, and I just didn't see the point of that personally. You're not a football expert. You're not a journalist. I don't know why some people think that just because they have a ring light and a YouTube account that they're entitled to certain treatment. They're entitled to certain interactions. I've seen people defending it like, well, he's just saying to his face what everyone else says online. Like, cool. All that means is you're a dick online and you're a dick to someone's face. Like, that's all it means. So I just don't get it. But it is what it is. Needless to say, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm still new to the YouTube thing. Maybe I'm just not a big camera person. I probably won't even have my phone and stuff out a whole lot when I'm there, just because that's not me. And I'm not saying that's better or worse. I'm just saying it's different. It's just not me. But it is. Yeah, I do remember Danny. He was on the United stand for a little bit. Yeah, totally different guy when he first started United stand. See him change slowly. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I get that he probably, he's got his opinions and he's got his standards and stuff, and he's got his favorites. He knows Dallo a little bit, but it's just interesting to me. The Adam thing is a little interesting. Adam, I've seen he's kind of changed a little bit as well. I think I don't know if it's just him as he's trying to go out on his own, trying to be different, trying to be like, I don't know. I have no idea. But both of them strike me as a little bit on the negative side, maybe the pessimistic side, but it is what it is. I'm not sure why Rashford being Mank is the topic of conversation for Adam. Like, did you guys see? That's what he pointed out. Like, the Manchester player is the one who didn't say anything. Like, I don't get, like, people forget, like, these players probably know that you guys do nothing but slag them off online. Why would they want to talk to you? Why would they want to even be nice to you? Because you're a fan? Well, you're also a very negative, hypercritical, agenda-based fan. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a fan. If you're gonna like bash them online, why would they give you the time of day? So it's interesting. But again, it's just the world we live in. It is what it is. So just curious to see what you guys thought, if you guys have seen anything about that. I know a lot of people have been talking about it all week. It's still mind-boggling to me that, like, YouTubers get, suites and access and stuff, because they're not journalists. I would never expect or demand that kind of thing. I don't care how popular the channel ever got. Like, I wouldn't just try to do that. I wouldn't try to get any sort of special treatment or anything. So it's interesting. And I've said many times, I'm not an expert, so I would never ever deign to try to put that off on a player, like, hey, you need to be doing this. Like, I'm not a manager. I don't have coaching license. I don't have badges. I don't have any of that. So it's interesting if I was a player. Yeah, it's weird. So in any case, you guys let me know your thoughts. Let me know your score predictions for tomorrow's match. It is an earlier one. It's not super early. I think it's like 9 a.m. kickoff for me. So probably going to head over to Loaded Dice, hang out with the people, the gang, and catch it there. But you guys let me know. You guys let me know what your plans are. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you guys for stopping by. Danny, always a pleasure, my friend. Hopefully we'll be chatting after another win before this international break. And don't forget to stop by next week. Gonna try to do that transfer target video for Ruud Amorim signing. So if you guys have your ideas on that, be sure to stop by for that. And then I'm gonna chat with Dylan tomorrow and see if he wants to come by and do a Manchester United squad, who stays, who goes, who fits, who doesn't fit in this Ruud Amorim system, and why. So that could be a fun video as well. So we're trying, like you guys know, I always try to break up the monotony of the international break. And then we will be doing another giveaway. This is the 2022-2023 home shirt. It is a large. So we'll be doing that on one of those videos as well. Danny's doing a 3-1 United. That was also my pick. So thank you guys for stopping by. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. As you can see on the banner down below, we are on the road to 2K subscribers, and it's all down to you. You guys getting involved. Big Nick getting in the house, man. Good to see you. Welcome. We are just wrapping up now, Novik, so you have to rewind and watch the video again. But thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you guys on the next one, where we'll talk about a little bit about the squad, the system, and look at who we might want to bring in. So big up, everybody. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the match tomorrow, and I will talk to you afterward. Later.